Hey everybody, Joy here. It is June 4th, 2021 and it's a Friday. A little after lunch, Jerry and I just had lunch. Due to several requests, I'm going to do a little tutorial on how I hem a curved hemline. So I'm going to make this blouse again because I have it Palmer and Plesh, which means I've already done all of the alterations to the paper so it will fit me perfect. There's one thing that bothers me just a tad about this blouse, and that it's always kind of falling off my shoulder and showing my bra. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring it in a little bit on my neck. So all I'm going to do is just draw this up, this line right here, draw it up about 1/2 inch so you can see how they do it. They just keep going out and up, out and up. So I'm just going to go out and up, maybe 1/4 inch, and then put the curve back on. And that way I'll have a little more coverage of my bra straps. And of course, everything always falls down on my right side because this is my low shoulder. Nothing falls off my high shoulder. So this is what I'm going to make. I've made it 4 times, and every time I wear one of these, several people say, I love that top, I love that top. This is so easy. It is so easy. This is New Look 6217. It is so easy because it's a dolman sleeve. And so you just sew a seam here and a seam here and sew underneath on each side, and yours won't have a bust dart in it because it doesn't come with a bust dart. But you know me, I have to do an FBA and everything. Makes up so fast. And actually the hardest part of it is the hem at the bottom. So I look and I like the length that it is. The fit is still good. The bust dart is still good. I'm just going to add a little bit of fullness in here. So I will show you a couple ways how to do a curved hem. Then this is the pattern I was wearing yesterday in my video. Here's the fabric. A lot of you said, what pattern with that cute bow? So here, the white one is the one with the bow. I made it with the bow and without the bow, and I believe Viv made this with the bow and without the bow. The bow is easy, and I think it's super cute. So I'll probably make that again. So New Look 6866 is the bow dress. New Look 6866. I'll put it down in the description box. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. Hey, I could even do a link. I wonder if Amazon sells patterns. I don't think they sell patterns. Well, we shall see. I really love this other neckline right here. The best neckline on me, in my opinion, is a boat neck. And this is a boat neck. So I did the boat neckline and the V neckline. Super cute. In my unprofessional opinion. So here's how I corrected the neckline. So I'll have a little more fabric here on each side. So when my blouse flips down, it won't show my bra strap. So here's the front. I just drew a line straight over, and then I took my styling ruler, my fashion ruler. These are in my Amazon store under sewing supplies, and I just put the curve up there like it was supposed to be, and I filled it in. And then you have to do to the back the same thing you do to the front. So there's the back. You can see I did it with a purple color, and I did the front with a green. So, ready to cut out. And if you have a dolman sleeve, you still can do an FBA. Right there it is, and you can see I did it. And I'm sure there's a video on this somewhere. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box below. It's a good idea to cut off all this extra paper. When you're doing fit adjustments, you end up with paper all over the place. So I'm going to cut it off so only the part I need is there. See, so now I just have that little tiny piece up there. I found something that I thought was summery looking in my stash. So I'm going to cut it out of this summery looking fabric, and I'm just going to go ahead and sew it together because you all have seen me do that before. And then when I get ready to do the hem, I'll come back and turn the camera on and show you how I do these curved hems. I'll have to narrate this since Elvis was singing. This is how I sew a dart. I start at the wide end and I sew straight, 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 all the way off the point, and I keep on going till I have at least an inch or a little more of a tail. Then I go back up into the wide part of the dart, the part that's enclosed, and I tack that tail there. This dart will never come undone. Now, some people sew it from the point down to the big end. You can sew yours however you want to. It took me about 15 minutes to do all of this with this pattern. There's the back, there's the front. And it has the little bit of extra up here at the top that I added. We'll see how much difference that makes. Mine has bust darts, yours will not. If you put an FBA in yours, then it will have bust darts, unless you release them to another location. So you can see how easy this is. You sew this and you sew this. Then you serge it, or trim it with pinking shears, or sew a zigzag and cut it short, but you want your edges finished because this is a cotton. Now I am really disappointed in this fabric. I think this fabric is defective. I believe, I can't prove it, I could be wrong, but I've never gotten a defective fabric from Fabric Mart. I think I got this from Metro Textiles. I got a couple pieces from them in my last order that I was very disappointed with. But this one, and it might just be me, you tell me what you think, it looks to me like the paint, when they were rolling it through the roller and putting the pattern on it, it looks to me like the paint smeared over and over and over again. Let me see if there's a good place I can show you. Maybe oh, there's one right there. See right here, this background? See the background right there? How it's smudgy and it's not clear. See the background on the rest of everything? It's just a clear, soft green. Here it is again on this one. The background's like smudgy, like the ink smeared. I don't know how the camera's picking that up. Right here you can see it real good, right here on the background of that. See? So, as far as I'm concerned, that's defective fabric. It might not be, but for how much I paid for it, I thought it should have been perfect. So what I have to do now is hem that slightly curved bottom. But a curved hem is way different than a straight hem. You have to treat a curved hem differently. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a narrow hem. You can do a 1/2 inch, you can do 3/8 inch, you can do 5/8 inch. Let's look and see what the pattern says to do. At the bottom of the pattern where the hem goes, it'll probably tell you something. 5/8 inch hem allowed. Narrow hem sleeve edge. Then it shows you to put bias tape around the neck. I'm still looking for where it tells you how to hem it. Narrow hem. Press up hem to form narrow hem. Tuck under raw edge to meet crease. Press up the hem. So when you press the hem up, you're going to press it up 5/8 inch. You're going to iron it. Then when you open it up, it will have a crease on the 5/8 inch line. Then what you're going to do is fold the hem up to that 5/8 inch line and then fold it on the 5/8 inch line, like that. Okay? I'll show you on the fabric. But it does show you, it's on page 2, and it's right here. This is what shows you how to hem the bottom of this blouse. And that is one of the ways I do it. Sometimes I take the fabric, let me mark it so hopefully it's understandable. you are going to press it. I'm going to use a pen and mark it. You are going to press it. 5/8 inch. See? That's 5/8 inch. You will press it up 5/8 inch, and then there will be a crease where that blue friction marker is. Then you will open it all back up, and you will fold the outside edge to meet the 5/8 inch, or in my case, the blue dashes. You will fold it to meet the dashes, then you will fold it in again. See how tiny that is? Then you will stitch all the way around. Now, the way I usually do it is I press it up 5/8 inch and then I serge off about 1/4 inch. Then I fold it on the 5/8 inch line, and then I just have the serged edge. I think that's how I did this one. Let me see if I can get this one up close enough to show you without showing you my belly. See? Sometimes, most times, where you come to the crease at the side seam, see how it's kind of a V? Sometimes this doesn't want to cooperate at the V and fold all the way up. If it doesn't, just fold it up as high as it will go and then smooth it in to the rest of it, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go press this up 5/8 inch, and then I'll be back. I thought I'd turn on the camera and let you watch me. This is so exhilarating and exciting. So this is how I do the curved hems. I get my little gauge, I put it at 5/8, and then I fold up and I put a pin kind of at an angle out this way to hold it there, because it wants to move all over the place. I've already pressed that, so it's behaving nicely. So then I press it really good. Then I pull the pins out. So now I have the crease we've been talking about. See the crease? So we're just going to fold this up to the crease. It's just tiny, tiny. Then we're going to fold on the crease, and then we're going to sew this hem in. Now, here's the issue. Did I tell you I sent my other iron in for repair, and they couldn't repair it? So they gave me $300. How nice was that? Buy those warranties, y'all. They're not very expensive. What, 40 bucks or something? It really paid off this time. Now, here's the hard part, is here at this V. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5/8 inch up to it on that side. Then I'm going to go 5/8 inch up to it on this side. You are the boss of the fabric. But sometimes the fabric, I think Peggy Sager says the fabric is the boss. The fabric decides what you can do with it and what you can't. But this is just a cotton. I don't like it much, but I figured it would be good for a tutorial because it shows up good. Okay, so we've got 5/8 inch. Now sometimes in the curves you got to put a bunch of pins because it wants to distort. So right here, I've got 5/8. Right here, at the seam line, the most I can get is 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to leave it at 1/2 inch. If you wanted this to turn up better, you would have to allow more fabric coming out on this side seam here, and you can do that. So it comes out as far as this does and matches better, and that way it would fold up. But it's not going to fold up. I've never had one fold up all the way at the seam line. So that's as good as it's going to go. And so I'm going to press it like that. Now, when I fold it over, I won't fold it all the way to the crease there. I'll fold it so it's the same width as the rest of this. So I'll show you when I sew it. 5/8, that's a little more than 5/8 right there. This part takes more time than sewing the blouse together, if you're picky like I am. And I'm super picky. Especially when you've arranged especially when you've done fitting adjustments that change the way the hem lies on your body, because in my case of my crookedness. And so I adjust it with a sway back and a round back, and so I want to make sure that I get it hemmed up right so I don't create another uneven issue somewhere. Okay, now this part here you just fold and pin. Now I'm not going to do it like the pattern. I'm going to show you, and I already have, how it can be done. But I am going to serge this edge off. Number one reason I can serge it off so the part at the side seam will be the same as the rest of it. I'll just serge it all off at a 1/2 inch or whatever, if that makes sense. Get yourself a good steam iron. This iron's in my Amazon store under sewing supplies. Comes from Amazon. They've got the best price, or they have in the past. Maybe somebody's selling it cheaper now, you never know. But I've been asked, goodness, dozens of times where I get this iron. But like I said, if you get the iron, buy the warranty. I think the warranty was from a place called Assyrian, and I have used it, and they did exactly what they said they would do. So I am very happy with them. And I'll probably have to buy another iron one of these days, because this one that I just showed you, I didn't buy the warranty for it. I got smarter after I bought about 4 of these things. But my goodness, I have bought them in the past. Now here we are here again. And this does not want to fold upright. It wants to behave differently. So, press it 5/8 inch as far as you can. Come around the other side, press it 5/8 inch as far as you can. Then just let it do what it wants to do in here, which is aggravating, I know. Let's see if we get a 1/2 inch here. Yes, we do. It's aggravating, I know, but that's just the nature of the beast here. So here we go. There you can see how this does not go to 5/8 inch on that seam. I've got the crease in here, and you can go to your sewing machine and you can just put this underneath the needle, fold it with your fingers, you don't have to press it, and just fold it up to that crease, and then just hold it as you go and sew that down, and you'll have a narrow hem and it'll be beautiful. I'm going to go serge this off. Then I'm just going to fold it up like the blouse I have on with my baggy yellow pants, and I'm going to do it like I did this one. Okay? I'll be back. I have serged all the way around, and you can see how I tried to leave it longer here, so when I fold it over to sew it, it will be the same as the rest of the hem. See? It's probably a little bit shorter still, but I did a pretty good job. This is a 4-thread. This is a 4-thread serged hem. Serged, whatever. Just because I had 4 threads on and I wasn't changing it. It won't hurt. 3-thread, 4-thread. Now, I'm just going to fold it up and I'm going to sew it. Do I sew it from the inside or the outside? I sew it from the inside, because that way I'll be sure and catch it. Same color thread top and bottom on your sewing machine that matches. I always match the background. If you wonder how I choose the thread, I always match the background. In this case, I'm using white. The hem is in. Drink lots of water. The hem is in. I folded it up. I sewed it on the front. What you need to do on the inside is find the narrowest part. Like right here, I cut it a little short, when I serged it. It's one reason I don't sell my clothes with the serger. I have a hard time getting a straight hem. But it was just a tad shorter right there. So I took the shortest space and I measured where to sew my top stitch. Then I turned it around to the front and I sewed it. So the hem is done on this. The pattern tells you to use bias tape for the neckline. I don't like bias tape, mainly because I'm not very good at it. Now I love to do that with a knit, but with a woven, I think the best look is to make a facing for a woven. This has a facing. There it is. See? Does it flip to the outside? Mine doesn't. I sew it down at both shoulders, or I seam it in. I don't have any problem with my facings slipping out. So it's real easy to draw a facing, you know. And I'm going to have to change mine because I changed the neckline. If you change your neckline, change the facing. This is the front. I added this little bit of extra there. So this goes, you can draw this so easy yourself. You just trace the neckline. That's all you do. That doesn't look like it goes with that. Hold on a second here. Use the front, Joy. Use the front for the front and the back for the back. So this is my front facing. So I'm going to pin it on there so it'll hold when I hold it up to show you. My pants are so baggy they're about to fall off. I was going to take them in this morning, but I thought, oh, I'm not in the mood. You know, I'd almost rather make a whole new pair of pants than fix a pair. So you can see my facing that I drew. You can see how I drew it. All I need to do is add this green piece to my facing. And then my facing will be fixed to match the new neckline. And I've got to do that on the front and the back. So that's very simple. So that's what I'm going to do. On the sleeve, I'm just going to fold it in 3/8 inch like it said. I'll serge around it, fold it in 3/8 inch or 5/8, whatever it said. And that's how I'll do the sleeves. Let me show you a boo-boo I make every time. When you decide you want to put the back of the pattern on a fold, but the back of the pattern has a 5/8 inch or a 3/8 inch or a 1/2 inch seam allowance added to it, you must remove it. I placed this edge on the fold. You have to remove that 5/8 inch seam allowance first and then place that on the fold. So what I'll do, now that I know I made that mistake, I will simply fold the back. I thought the back looked awful blousy. I will simply fold the back in half. I've already put the hem in it. I will undo the hem, pull it out. I'll take the 5/8 inch seam allowance in the back because I'll have to now or it won't fit. And then I'll put the hem back up on it. I make boo-boos all the time, you guys. Oh, you darling. All right, this is my first try on. The hem is done at the bottom. I put the center seam, back seam in. The sleeves aren't hemmed up, but they're super easy. Just serge the edge, fold it up, serge the edges, sew the hem. You might want to leave the center back seam in because when you have a center back seam, you can shape it to your back. And with my heavy duty sway back, correction, it helps me to be able to do that. I could take 2 waist tucks, but I don't need that much. So what I'm going to do, you want to see 3 joys again, like my video yesterday. Good grief, wasn't that terrible? Now remember, you have to be able to get this off and on above your head. I am going to pinch this seam where my waist is. And I'm going to take it in just a little bit there. And that will give me a bit of a sway back correction. There, yeah, I think that's about right. And then I'll taper it up to the neck. So you see there now how I have a dent in my back, and it even gives me a little shape in the front. So you might want to leave that center back seam in the back. I just want to show you how I shaped this center back seam. Here's my neckline. Here's my hip. I need all this fullness at the hip. But here's where I could pinch it the most. So I just took this pink friction marker and I just gradually made a little curve in there. I didn't even use this. Didn't even use this, but maybe I could have. Let's see if I could have. Yeah, I could have used that. So I'm going to go sew that in like it was part of the center back seam to start with, and that will make the back look nice. So my blouse is all done. I do not care for the fabric. It is not soft. It's a little bit stiff. It's kind of like a sheet, like a cheap sheet. So I'm not crazy about the fabric, but it's all done. I've got it together with my little sway back correction. Now, about sway backs. Some people have a little bit of a sway back, some people have a lot of a sway back. But in a garment, it depends on the fabric and the pattern whether or not you're going to have to correct it. You're not supposed to have just a perfectly flat, straight piece of fabric up here above your waist. You know, you want some ease, but you don't want a puddle either. So, depending on how it looks on you, maybe you don't want to do a sway back. But if you think, oh, I've got all this fabric here and it doesn't go up and it doesn't go down, then you will want a sway back correction. In my opinion, if you don't care what it looks like back there, just never turn around, make sure people always see the front of you. But here's one thing I would correct on this pattern. And anytime you have a dolman sleeve. The sleeve, where's the pattern? The sleeve just comes straight down here and then straight out here. Now my sleeve looks crazy because I've done this full bust adjustment to it. And it's bent a little bit. But what you need to do, let me draw this on a piece of paper like it is. Okay, so here's this right here. There it is. That's the outside of my sleeve. Either the front or the back, I don't know which one I drew. So you're supposed to have a 5/8 inch seam. So let's draw a 5/8 inch narrow hem. You could make a 3/8 inch and it'd be a whole lot easier. And this is where they're telling you to do a narrow hem. The way I showed you, where you crease it and then you fold it up. So that would be where they want you to fold it up. So let's us try doing that and see how it works. Alright, so play like that's my sleeve. And I'm going to fold this up 5/8 inch. I promise you it's not going to do it. Fold it there, fold it there, fold it there. And you will see what the issue is. Do you see how it can't reach? It can't reach here to this edge. It can't reach here to this edge. So unless you've got a stretchy fabric, this is not going to, it's going to give you fits. It did me. I wish I would have thought to fix it. So how do you fix that so you can fold it up in there and it will fit? It's really quite easy. Let's put it back on here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold it on the 5/8 inch line. It helps if you can see through it, and I can't see through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, I can't see through it so I can't draw it. But what I'm going to do is go back here on the other side, on this part up here, and I'm going to, I've got this hem part folded up on the 5/8 inch line, and I'm going to cut it with that line there, or draw it. You could draw it. I can't draw it because I can't see through it. There we go. All right, so we're going to fold it here, and we're going to cut it on the inside. This is really a big difference. Hopefully you can see it. Especially under the arm, it's very strange. See here, there's a little white pokey outy part? You need that there for that to fold up inside, because when you fold it now, it reaches perfect, see? And this one over here just needs this much extra. And so when you fold it up, it matches perfect now. So that's how you fix that. You make the 1 inch, the 2 inch, the however wide your hem is, fold it up on the hem line, and then cut it the same as what it's hemming to. And that's how you fix it. I hope you can see this. Let me color it in blue. And then you can see what was added here. I am surprised they don't tell you this, but they don't. They don't get into details. They expect you to just not care that it doesn't come out good. There we go. There's the part I added on there. Here's the part I added on here. When I fold it up now, it folds inside perfectly. And of course you'll be working with fabric, not paper, and it will still be round. Okay? So that's the one thing I would change on the pattern. I don't know about the hem. Let's see how that would work on here. If I drew the 5/8 inch line down here, because you know you always have trouble here at this side seam. So there's the 5/8 inch there. So let's fold it up on the 5/8 inch. And sure enough, no wonder it's so complicated. Look at how much difference we have here. This big triangle piece right here. So I also will change this and add to here and make sure it's cut even with this. This part's fine over here, but I will change this so I have that added little triangle fabric there. I hope that makes sense. You want me to do that for you? Let me do that one. Now look here how much got added. Look how much got added there. If you do this on this inside seam, it will be the easiest hem you ever put in. You won't have to trim it, you won't have to double fold it, you won't have to do anything. You can just fold that sucker up 5/8 inch and it will sew down. That will fix it. So the next time I cut this out, which will be time number 6, I'm going to fix those 2 areas. I can't believe I didn't do it already. So time for me to go fix supper. We're having something that has to do with 2 pounds of hamburger. I have no idea what. But I hope you might have learned a little bit today, those of you who asked me how to hem a curved edge. And then of course I showed you that pattern of the bow dress that I wore the other day. And yes, I know my pants are super, super baggy. But at least they match my new top. With my way back. Alright my friends, I better get this uploaded and off to YouTube so those of you who are interested can watch it. I might be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday we're leaving for that place in Lewisville, Texas. So if you don't see me on my Shine channel, it just means I'm out of town and I don't have good enough internet to do it. But I'll always be back, I promise. And I'll be back on this channel too.